quick, do a search and join us on the live stream there. You can also join us on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM. You remember to use the hashtag Nigeria Info MCF to drop your comments. We'll be reading them intermittently. Okay, let us start. The jury is out.
Yes.
We've been waiting. There's a feature here on the health and living page of the Vanguard. EU declares AstraZeneca vaccine safe, effective as NGF backs its continuous use.
Yes, so this is good news. So now I think we can actually go ahead. Even if you look at the foreign papers, I'm looking at the Guardian or the UK Guardian here, and it's making the lead. The Daily Mail, everybody is saying that, look, listen, AstraZeneca vaccine is safe. In fact, it's just that, we never have enough time. In one of the papers, there's an admission that politics came to play in all this. There's an admission.
Well, as with most things, there's always,
yes, that politics came to play. So, the bottom line now, it is safe. We had Insecurity here yesterday, and I just drove past one vaccination center right now as it is. Very disorderly. Yes, the Insecurity said yesterday that even though she had booked online, she just drove in, and that's the story for most people. And so that what you have is you have people who have filled those forms but have not been called.
Yeah.
And you just have very little to go around. So what do? We are almost now in a state of confusion where you just have your bath in the morning, wake up, go line up and pray that you'll be able to get the vaccination.
We might have the same situation we had with the NIN registration.
Yes.
The whole place crowded, everyone then having to pay their way in.
Just down the road.
Why do we then have online registration?
Not just that. If you missed Nkiru's interview yesterday, go back to it. It's on YouTube. You can source it there. And it's the same story I heard from 3-4 other people. In the first instance, I had thought that the first set of people we were going to treat were those the frontliners, medical staff and so on. All that has been thrown out.
Oh.
Now it's now a free fall. Now that everybody knows that you can jolly well stroll in and whatever, you can imagine the chaos we're looking at. Now, the way out of this is for the government to give approvals to recognized private enterprises, clinics, or some companies who want to actually, as much as donate to the public, and under certain guidance, let it come and let some of it be private sector led to ease the pressure. Because just like you said, what we are trying to vaccinate against, I hope now doesn't turn around to be a super sweeper for us, just because we can't follow simple rules. In other countries where it is done, you are given a date. You're not just given a date. You're given a time. So you go in there at the appropriate time, and behold, within 5 minutes you're vaccinated. Within 20 minutes you're out of the place, because they provide another place for you to sit down for 15 minutes and see how this. The Nigerian factor always comes to play. I hope we don't have a situation where it's only the elites, the powerful, and those who have contacts that will get vaccinated.
I hope we don't start doing home delivery, home service.
You can't. Well, I don't know. I don't know.
It's possible.
But if under some kind of arrangement, renowned hospitals can give to their patients, companies, big organizations, for example, that have company doctors and so on and so forth, I think it's time to let some of these things come in, because the government apparently cannot cope. The numbers are not enough anyway. And
but I'm not sure. I mean, in Lagos we have quite a number of health centers. If we decide to be orderly with these things, I think the health centers we have can jolly well handle the number.
There was something you just said now. Oh, by the way, talking about Lagos, very quickly, I'd like to apologize. 2 days ago, we talked about the academy, the academy. What was it now? Some academy named after Jacob. I was corrected by the commissioner yesterday that the Lagos State University has not been changed to Lateef Jakonde University, even though he acknowledged that it was in the papers. So it wasn't due to any fault of ours. Apparently, the university has not been named after Alhaji Lateef Jakonde, like we were made to believe.
Okay.
So we apologize to you for that, but also know that we go by what we see here.
Yeah, the reports, yeah.
The report, yeah.
Okay, staying now with the Punch newspaper. Throwing 2023 presidency open is despicable, unconscionable, and says Ohaneze to PDP. We're in 2021. In fact, the comment about 2023 began in 2019, right after the elections. I mean...
Well, what the PDP is trying to do is to remove this idea of rotation, okay? Which, in principle, looks like the best way to go. But I maintain that you're not going to be doing that until everybody's gotten a bite at the pie. And the Southeast has been left hanging. That's why you find this Johanese. That is, because they believe very strongly that they might be the target. Well, as far as I'm concerned, the Johanese and people from the Southeast have a decision to make. And that decision is not to tie yourself to any party. If one of the reasons why you believe that one of the reasons you believe is that it must be your person that will be there and so on and so forth, then look for a party that will take him and muster all you can. This thing is about negotiations. I don't think we should run away from who we are. So I support rotation. I don't think we should. It's peculiar to us as who we are.
But have we been having rotation before now?
Yes, they've always had rotation with a bit of adjustment. Obasanjo came, then Yar'Adua, then Jonathan. Jonathan came. Now there's word that Jonathan might want to take his second term, or somebody from the South. They have these political arrangements among themselves.
Within the parties.
But for the larger society, Nigerians should be ready to cast their vote for whoever. I don't even care if he's a Tanzanian. If you can go wake up Julius Nyerere to come and run this country, so be it. Because at the end of the day, we need to take a selfish decision. That selfish decision is who will help this country, who will get us out of the mess that we're in.
But again, for peace's sake, conversations are around. It's better if that person is from the southeast. In fact, I'm in the forefront. I'm in the forefront of that argument. However, I'm not going to cast a vote for an just
individual
anybody
just because it's from the southeast.
Absolutely.
I believe that if you can find a way to ensure, and the southeast has loads of people that qualify in both the. When I think of the likes of my good friend Sonny Roche, in the PDP, in the APC, I don't mention any name. But when I think of people that I know, and we have very brilliant minds. What's the name of the former Minister for Information? What's his name now? Weke. Is that his name?
Yes.
Weke. Yes. We have loads of brilliant people from the Southeast who, should they pick up a nomination form, you find me lining up behind them. But let's see how it goes.
Okay.
So, but the Ohaneze, and it's all part of politics for them to quickly say that, don't you think this thing should be zoned to us? It's all politics at the end of the day.
On Twitter, we apologize. Oladipo Olokunla. Okay, it might be your network. You're saying that the app is not working well at your end, but check it again. Might be your network, because from our end, it's good. Igboho alleges federal government oppression, decries herdsmen atrocities. That's a headline here at the Punch newspaper. Igboho, there was a video yesterday. Quite intense, passionate video.
Well, I'm going to have to address Chief Sunday Adeyemo, also known as Sunday Igboho. Like I addressed him on the issue of having somebody handle his information, I think he needs to employ a lawyer to go through the things that he says. See, the law is no respecter of sentiments. Okay? The law is no respecter of sentiments. And he will be surprised, like other people had been surprised in the past, that when the chips are down, he might find himself standing alone. Rhetoric is easy. Action is very difficult. Some of the things that he says here that he lamented the worsening insecurity and so on and so forth. But there are some things that he says, I would advise him, to desist from using that kind of language. Look, one thing is bravado. When it comes to reality, I hope he's ready. Because he says that we no longer have peace in our home. We know that. We have a good country, but our leaders are bad. That includes even Yoruba leaders.
It doesn't exempt them.
It doesn't exempt them. So getting out of Nigeria because of that doesn't hold water. Our Yoruba leaders are bad. Our leaders are bad, most of them. So let me leave some window open. It says, after this discussion, we will hold meeting and open our borders so that rice, food, and other things can enter easily. I don't know what that means. That they will open our borders. Which borders are closed? Which borders are you opening? So that rice, food. And it says enough. All our borders that Nigerian government closed, we are telling them we are no longer under them. You are no longer under who? You are no longer under who? He goes on to say, we will go and open the borders. How? I don't know which borders he's talking about. I hope he's not thinking of the Benin border, which in itself has been opened.
Yeah.
I hope this is not an old video. I just hope. But even for it to be on record.
Because he was talking about the border,
yes,
right?
Yes. It might jolly well be an old video, but he has to be careful. And he says, we are ready for anything they want to do to us. I am speaking on behalf of Yoruba people. Mr. Igboho, you do not, under any legal whatever, have the right to speak on behalf of the Yoruba people. There is what we call law and order in society. Okay, you don't have the mandate of the Yoruba people. I respect your feelings. Your feelings, a lot of us might even have the same in times of frustration and whatever. We could be saying that, but we will be careful about saying that in public. In any case, is that even a good strategy? Even if it were, let's just drop the argument and say there are certain things you want to do. Is this a good strategy? If you think this is putting things in the balance, we have to be careful. So he says that I'm speaking on behalf of Yoruba people. The Yoruba people have not given anybody a mandate to speak to them except those they have voted for. And he said the Yorubas are now united with the traditional rulers backing them. The meeting that took place about 2-3 days ago, only one traditional ruler was there, and I couldn't even recognize where he came from. And he says that some people can say that Yoruba are not united, we are united. If you want to know how united we are, touch one of us, you will know, and so on and so forth. He now goes on to say, starting from now, we don't want Fulani headsmen in our land. He doesn't have the mandate to say that. I don't believe in painting everybody with one brush. I believe that a lot of this Fulani whatever is criminality. And on both ends, people are making good out of it. On both ends. And he says we are taking back our territory. We are ready to face a country that has no mercy for the Yoruba people. Nigeria has been good to the Yoruba people. Don't let's lie about these things. If there is anyone who has benefited the most in this, like I said, let's even look at the political arrangement. You had the president for 8 years. If you are not his supporter, that's your personal matter. He's still a Yoruba man. You had the speaker in Bankole. You have a vice president in whatever. I mean, so and Yorubas have contributed, whether you like it or not. Yorubas have contributed a lot to this country, and I would like to know who would be so willing to walk away from a country that you have almost giving your life to. I believe there are other ways to solve the problems and he goes on to say, we don't fear anybody, but we only fear God. Enough is enough. There is no going back. Well, I can understand. Again, I understand his sentiments, but he needs to know that we are not going to move from one slavery to another. As far as I'm concerned, according to Oki, that is really where Eko people so it is significant because anytime there's a Yoruba cause coming forward, people look up politically. It is very clear to a lot of us that they look up to Lagos State for funding. So these issues are going to have to come in again, and I'm glad that Oki opened her eyes to that. It's a very complex situation, but we'll get to it.
I wish we could have a conversation around it one of these days.
And he says that speaking on behalf of youth in Yoruba land, I said that enough is enough. Well, let me be. I need to make this clear to Mr. Igboho that he probably has a good cause. It depends on which side of the divide that you are, but he really and truly must be very, very careful. And this is out to him. And for the rest of us, if it's going to mean that we should have some kind of mandate, maybe it's time for... Because whilst he says this, it is said that the OPC want to form a security unit to take care of the whole Southwest.
And there's still Amotekun.
And then you have Amotekun at the state. And I'm saying to these two people, Gani Adams, and if you feel this way, why don't you talk to the governors, strengthen the Amotekun in all the states?
Something that has covering by law.
The signal that we're getting, if care is not taken, is that we're going to start having different armies.
We had better not.
You know, we're going to have different armies, and this would only lead us to confusion. Back to my people, final word. For most of you out there who have Yoruba stock, the people who have brought you to where you are, believe me or not, are those closest to you. They are your own people. In Lagos, we are suffering now. And we know who is responsible. He's not a Fulani man. In Lagos, Lagosians are marginalized. And the person marginalizing us is of Yoruba stock, like us. So let's get this thing very clear.
Yeah.
The same is in the East. You understand? It's not any Hausa Fulani that is creating problems for them in the East. It is their own leaders. So let us get very clear and let us try to resist creating monsters in our midst so that we don't go through what I will call a second slavery.
What's for you to think about there? First Lady returns to Aso Rock after 6 months absence. This is from the Vanguard newspaper. We bid her welcome.
Yeah, we bid her welcome, and we would like to tell Madam not to put us through this kind of strain anymore.
Why? Why? Has anyone strained?
You see, the First Lady is a public figure. She's the wife to the president. And if she left this country for 6 months, surely the people would have to know why. Some said it was on a medical trip. Some said she went to do omugo, take care of her grandchildren and whatever it was. Some said she had absconded for security reasons. And the problem with information is wherever you leave a gap, somebody's going to fill it in.
Misinformation will fill it.
Misinformation will fill it. But now at least there's one thing she hasn't left the country. She's back.
Yeah.
She's back with her husband, cooking for him as we speak. Probably doing
we don't know if she's cooking for him.
Well, she will have to move from the other room to the kitchen. The man spoke about the other room. He didn't say she got to go to the kitchen.
Oh my word.
But he's glad to have her back, and we are waiting for the first expletive that we're going to get from her.
And she always has them.
She always has them. So that is going to be very interesting for us here. Welcome back, ma'am. Grandma, she's grandma now. Yeah.
Oh, she is. Okay, there's an editorial here on the return of Ibori's looted funds. It's reported. It's in the Punch newspaper. I think you'd like to highlight a part of it.
Yeah, I mean, the arguments we've had, Candid Johnson, we've had other lawyers give their views, but now we're having a newspaper, and the part that interests me is this, and I'd like you to listen carefully. It says, besides unilaterally signing the MOU with the UK government without a thought for the Delta people, who had all along unjustly suffered the consequence of police theft, is an assault on reason, natural justice, and good conscience. What that means is that the Punch believes that at the time the Nigerian government was negotiating with the British government, the Delta State should have been represented. They should have been, and it says the most sensible thing allowed for the federal government to do in the circumstance is to deduct whatever cost it incurred in the long-drawn legal battle to ensure the repatriation of the stolen funds from Ibori, his family, and associates. And if you must spend the money, it would have been more equitable deploying it in rehabilitating existing decrepit infrastructure or abandoned federal projects located in the state for the benefit of the people. Now because it skipped, I didn't see where this has happened, but this is what it says. It says the decision of the Delta State government to challenge the federal government's decision in court is a welcome development. I didn't know that had happened.
Oh, they've gone to court?
They've gone to court. I didn't know.
I remember in one of the papers, Edwin Clark had said that the Eastern people could take government to court. I didn't know they'd also gone to court.
Yeah, they've gone to court. That's why I said I was surprised. But at the end of the day, the Delta people again, like those of us in Yoruba land and those in the East, should now know who their enemies and true leaders are. I'm still aghast as to the statement that was made from his people that they stand by him.
By their son.
I don't know. There's something in our diet that has twisted our head.
Is it in the diet?
I told you that, you see, poverty is worse than cancer. Cancer doesn't spread. Poverty does. And one of the things that I think poverty does most importantly is that it twists your mind, it twists your brain, it twists logic, it twists just about everything apart from your physical being. Only God will help us. Let's move on.
Yeah, okay. So we're really jogging out of time. Let's see this other editorial. And it's about the shoot on site. This is not the way to go in a democracy. It's an editorial in The Nation today.
Well, let me just say very quickly that the Nation, of course, doesn't agree completely with the president's order. And actually, if you saw the video, I was saying to myself, this is a democracy. The president can't just say, go shoot somebody. But, well, and it says that in all the rights of citizens must be respected, since all criminals are just innocent until proven guilty in the court of law. It stands to reason that the duty of security forces is to apply appropriate force in apprehending criminals.
So as to be able to bring them before the law.
Before the law. But I understand the president's frustration. If I say I don't understand, I must even say that initially when I saw the order, I was excited. But then again, this also has reference to the Igbo scenario. Yeah. The law is the law. The law is not sentimental. I think
no matter how you feel about that situation.
I think that order the president gave could only have been given under certain conditions. Okay, maybe a state of emergency or not. I don't want to go. I'm not a lawyer, so I don't want to argue so much about it. But that's just what my thoughts are. In any case, the nation puts up an argument and pleads caution with that kind of order so that it's not misunderstood. But this is not the time to buy an AK-47 toy for your son.
I beg.
It's
even expensive,
No, the toy.
Oh, the toy?
I was talking about the toy. You went to buy toy guns for a 10-year-old. Because you don't know if it's a toy or not until after you've gunned the poor guy down and they say,
hey, please, I beg. Asari Dokubo Biafra's agenda, political miscalculation, says Ijo leader. It's a story here in the Vanguard newspaper.
Yeah, Asari Dokubo, there's problem in IPOB. Kano, is it Kalu Kano, had said he was closing down the UK chapter because he was asked to give account and so on and so forth. They don't borrow everything. Then now, it's funny that Asari Dokubo, who is from the South, would now say he wants to be leader of Biafra when most prominent South leaders want out of Biafra.
Well, he has a
because the South leaders, understandably so, believe they can survive on their own. They have the oil. So what you're saying is politics. So that's why I tend to agree somewhat with this statement that says by Julius Bower. It says that the statement credited to Dokubo, calling on Niger Delta to join Biafra as a misnomer and a political miscalculation to plunge the Niger Delta region into a serious problem. Because a prominent Niger Deltan that I spoke to said that the only way you can get them to join Biafra is to enslave them militarily. Yes. Why would you want to go? Let's put ourselves in their minds.
Yeah.
Why would you go from one slavery to the other? And you see, what is most important, let us watch the rhetoric out there. Let us have at the back of our minds that the two most profitable ventures in Nigeria today are religion and activism. Once you have that at the back of your mind, you'll be quite clear what's going on. Activism and the gentleman here, I'm sorry to say, I hear he has a secondary school and a university. He didn't cite it in the South for the benefit of his people.
Right.
He took it to Benin Republic.
Right.
I should tell you something.
All of these issues fall only by bad governance, lack of accountability. I mean, that's why you find people saying, if we're on our own, maybe it would be better. But think about it. Would it really be better?
You have allowed the politicians to do what they know best, pointing fingers at other people.
Yeah.
I keep saying, in Lagos, for example, it's not an outside Fulani man that is marginalizing me.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
If you say you want to have
my local government chairman is not from this, my state governor is not that. Those who back him are not. So what are we? Even
same
the
for the South
opposition
and for the South. Yeah.
So let's be very clear-minded. And I always also say that I don't think the average Yoruba person is ready for any form of war. Not all of them have the kind of chance that Iti Baba alone in that photograph.
Okay, we really need to go now.
We have to go.
Yes, we do need to go now.
All
right. Jimi Disu is back again at 9 o'clock with Daily Digest. Make sure to join the conversation then. After the break, the news comes on, and after that, I'd like you to tell me the rehabilitation or the plan to rehabilitate the refinery in Nigeria. Do you like it? You guys said you want us to fix our refineries. The presidency wants to fix it. You don't like it. What do you like? What do you want? Tell me after the break at 8. My name is Wemimo. Adewuni, don't go away.
99.3 Nigeria Info. We are more than just radio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Nigeria Info FM. Check us out on Facebook at Nigeria Info 99.3. Follow us on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM and on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Lagos for live updates as it happens. 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk. 99.3 Nigeria Info. We are more than just radio.